Hello, hello. Is this thing working? Ah, cool. Everything seems to be working, I think. Oh, hey, Faye. Oh. Yeah, I thought I'd set about at least an hour earlier for you. Because I think last time was about 1 in the morning when I started at 5, so I'm assuming it's about midnight for you. And this shouldn't be a very long stream. It's a pretty simple build, it seems like. Most of the changes on this seems like it's more the aesthetics, it's the kind of build and proportions of them. Oh, plus after last time using one of my cameras to, oh hey, how you doing, Goku? Goku Toro? Ugh, sorry, I was just swallowing a drink there, but choked. I'm doing alright, man. And I thought I'd do things a little differently. Instead of having the camera on my hideous face, I took my second camera, that way you can kind of see up close, and plus I'm doing something kind of small and hard to see. I haven't tried the glass spot on the Mazinger, but I've used it so far on a couple other kits and stuff, and it seems to be working great. I need to get him off the shelf and give it a try on him and see how that does, but it looks like it should gloss that over quite well. But yeah, for while we're doing this, I can swap over to this. Y'all got both views on both slides, that way you can see if I'm doing something real close up, so figure kind of play with this time around, see what y'all might think. So let's see here. I think we'll, for the moment, I don't know if I'll start off on the top view maybe. See how it goes. If y'all want me to switch, just holler at me. Oh, type very big to holler at me and let me know. Get this instruction manual here straightened out. It's the only thing I hate about high grade manuals. They fold out like a pamphlet, which is very annoying. There we go. At least get the first parts out here. Of course, be starting on the chest on this thing. Yeah, compared to the last two streams I've done, that's pretty much all the parts. Well, except for the weapons and shield and stuff, they're right here. Kind of a nice change of pace doing a high grade for a change on a live stream. I am curious to see how the mechanics work out on this villa, since they seem to be a bit different from what you typically see in these. High grade Zadra. Oh. We're in no rush. I'm going to look that up real quick. Hold on 1 second. The high grade Zadra. Actually, I can just make it easier instead of getting up and going on the computer. I'll just use my handy dandy smartphone here. Let's see. Oh, I haven't seen. This the guy you're talking about, Faye? That'd be fun for your own colors. I've never come across this kit before. From Age? Oh, I did get the Age. Oh crap! What is it called? The Gundam Age FX. I finally picked that one up. I want to do my own color scheme on that. Don't plan on doing really any modding or anything on that because I like the design itself generally. I'm just going to do my own color scheme on him. That's, I think, the only H kit I got, actually. He'd be fun to do some of his own color, especially the way that skirting armor kind of overlaps each other. That'd be pretty neat on doing different coloring on that. And how the chest armor is kind of scaled, those vents in the front. That would be a fun kit. I might see about that one of these days. Have to put that on my list. don't know where to put that thing. My workbench is so messy, I can't even keep track of everything. Oh, actually, before we get started, this is that post I showed that you picked out the Schwab Greys and the Zeta Gundam. This is kind of what I've been tinkering with working on so far. Because I never did care. The design looked good, but the kit itself was just falling apart and just a pain. I couldn't stand it, so I got frustrated with it and ended up tossing him in a box somewhere. And I've been moving everything around trying to reorganize everything. And it's something I was tinkering with the other day. If I can get this backpack off of here. Oh, there. Yeah, I just kind of modified the back thrusters where they would go on there for the Schwab. I modified that in there a bit so I could get the wings from the Zeta on there. And I cut the front fins. These were on the front crotch here, and they were in the way of the legs. They came down across, and you can only get the legs like up that much maybe. So I cut them off and fashioned them onto the back skirting, cut the back skirting fins off because they came all the way down to here. And I didn't care for the length on those, so I cut them off because I wanted this to be kind of a real lean and kind of streamlined sort of kit. I didn't want a bunch of bulk or nothing on them. And these are actually the side skirts I got on the shoulder armor. These were the side skirts for it, and I cut the little tabs off for it and smoothed those out and modified the shoulder attachments for those to be the armor on the shoulders there. And of course the Zeta shield. I haven't finished working on it. All I've done is a simple drill a hole in him. If you don't have a pin vise, get one of those. Those things come in so handy. I got a little cheap one with multiple bits on it for it, like $8 on Amazon. Or I guess y'all don't have Amazon where you're at, but I wouldn't say amazing, but I'm having fun with it. It's something to tinker with when I'm bored, because don't want to get anything too, involved when the baby's sleeping during the day, because my wife's at work and he might sleep 15 minutes, he might sleep 2 hours. So I figured I'd just pull out some spare parts, and I got a bunch more downstairs I need to collect and maybe do a little bit more on this guy. But I figured that's a little start to play with. Tinkering the other day. But I guess we'll go ahead and get started on this guy and see how this turns out. Ooh, and I will actually, 1 second, I'm going to swap views here for a second. Dude, the color on this, it's like a real matte. I don't know how well y'all can see it, the color and everything and the texture on this. But everything's like a real kind of pastel, a real dull pastel sort of color to everything. And it looks real nice. It's going to be fun in a way of it's going to be a pain in the butt trying to get the colors to match whenever I get around to painting this, because I want to try and keep it as originally as colors as they are, because they're so different. It looks really, hopefully it all looks really good once we get it built. That's another reason why I got this other camera. That way after the build and everything, I can kind of stand them up and y'all can actually see it sitting here instead of having to just lay it down. Y'all got just a top view and everything. Oh, y'all do just price vary. See, for that little pin vise, I found it for, like I said, $8-10 on Amazon for USD. Alright, but yeah, for the most part, this build shouldn't take too terribly long. Should be a fairly quick one. Actually, this top camera, which way do I go? Yeah, that way. We'll zoom in a wee bit more there. But seeing how some of this engineering goes in the end will be interesting. These snap in right there, it looks like. There it went. It kind of makes me think of it's a shoulder right in through there, so it makes me think of how the Jim is, how shoulders will kind of pop and bow out for you. I don't know how well it'll work, because it doesn't seem to have as much play as the Jim's shoulders do, which I did pick up another one of those, because after doing that first miniaturites contest deal, after doing the kit bash, I want to build the Jim just a straight build on him, because it's just such a clean and nice design. It's the only Jim that I've ever built, so I probably need to get some more of those one of these days. Oh, better make sure I got turned right, or it won't go in there at all. These little. Oh, and there's no polycaps on this kit either, which, of course, I think should be a pretty good plus on this. Because if it can hold its poses, and depending on how well it poses after we get it done, that might make for a very nice deal on this kit. Did I put that on backward? No, I put that on there right. Yeah, I knew this was going to be probably a fairly short stream, but this is something new and pretty interesting looking design on it, at least aesthetically. So I figured this would be good for a nice little quick afternoon, well, afternoon for me, live stream. The way the parts are separated on this, it should be really easy to, to disassemble and paint and everything. Everything seems to slide together. Oh, and that's the color correcting stickers for this. You have the eyes, and that is it. Oh, the vise comes in handy. Mine, one I use is this 3D printed this one, and it works pretty great for my stuff. Just went to the bolts, went to the hardware and got some bolts for it, and I used some Velcro, just sticky Velcro, and I used to use the two felt sides, not the clasping side, so that way it has two pads there on the inside of mine. But this devices do always come in handy, that is for sure. I need to redesign this and make something for a little bit different for holding up like the torso part when I'm working on it, maybe doing slides or decals or whatever. But that comes in handy for right now. The way this is also designed, of course you have these little hinge parts showing here. But all in all, I mean, that helps hide like that shoulder panel line you usually have coming across here for the front and back half. And hell, actually, if you wanted to match this, when you paint the chest and these back pieces here, you could easily just paint the top of this gray part for the shoulders, and that'd blend right in with that. I might do that when I paint this. Set him to the side. Here, I'm going to switch to the other view and see which one y'all kind of like more. Since it's such a fairly simple build today, I thought I'd try both of these. That way, see which one everybody seems to kind of like the most. So at the end of the stream, there will be a quiz about which one y'all prefer. Oh, and actually, now that I think about it, I was going to record this. Start recording. There we go. Which way do you go? Oh, there we go. A little extra pivot there for the torso. Don't know how much they'll give us when everything else is attached, of course. So far, everything seems to go together pretty nice and smooth on this. Pretty slender torso there so far. This guy might end up being kind of tiny. Where it's next here? Oh. Snap that off up in there and just rock that down. Oh, it snaps in there. Oh, I see. How easy is that to get back apart? Oh, no. Maybe if I... Yeah, see, there's a little tab in there. You snap that to the front and they'll hinge back around. Has a little pop tab there. So really, if you wanted to modify this for some ab crunch, you could probably do that, the little claw plate maybe off up in here. And that way it kind of covers up that open gap a little bit and modify that a little bit where you get a little extra play there. Because that center part of torso doesn't seem to move forward and back very much, but it'll go side to side. Alright, what's next on the list here? Done that. The chicken neck. You know, for this being the 40th anniversary sort of kit and a whole new design, I really wish they would have, molded this where there's not a hollow spot in the back of the neck. I know they're only high grades, but still, this doesn't take much more plastic to do that. That always does annoy me. On some kits it don't matter because depending on the collar it'll cover it up, but on this guy it's going to be pretty obvious. Alright, line up there. There we go. I guess this just simply snaps onto the front and then the backpack sandwiches together. Man, just be smarter than the plastic, Kyle. Not that complicated. Or is it? Well, hell fuzzy. Need to push harder? Oh, don't want to push too hard. Ah, now I don't know what I'm doing. That's not matching up here. Doesn't seem quite right on this. The deal. Two pegs will be sliding in there. I feed them. Hard enough. I guess that's why I'm pushing quite hard enough. There we go. Oh, that's nice. You can see up in there that. Let me switch the other camera because it's my good camera, so it has much better detail. Yeah, there you go. You can see up in there where everything fits in. You got that little extra gray bit kind of from the inner parts popping through there in the chest. So it's not just that basic boring, just all flat color up underneath there. That's kind of a neat little detail to have on there. And then the backpack is simple enough. Just sandwiches together, it looks like. I guess those are the thrusters, I guess, that kind of poke through the back. Yep. It looks like this guy's supposed to have a bit more of a streamlined look to him. You can still see the seam line there, but it's not a bad seam line because most of it's kind of hidden up here where the beam sabers rest. And actually, those snap in. They're pretty good too. Wow, that's nice. Man, look at the detail on these beam sabers. So you can pick it up. I think these are some of the neatest looking beam sabers I've seen so far. They had the extra detail cut into the top there around the lip. And of course, you have your typical 3 striations down through here. But they're actually pretty pronounced and pretty deep on in there. So those will be really detailed and show up when you panel line this. Those snap in pretty solid. They don't just rest in there like it seems like most of them do. Yeah, they both snapped in there. That was easy enough. Might go a little faster than I thought it would there, actually. So, got that forward movement on the arms there. And it looks like you should have pretty good up. Alright, let's see what we got next. I think next is, yeah, the head. Set that to the side. Now we'll go ahead, since the only stickers for this deal is these little color correcting one for the eyes, go ahead and put them on. Fish these out. And since the head's so kind of tiny, we'll switch back over to this. Oh, and this is one of my favorite things about this kit. The helmet basically of the head is all one stinking piece. I don't know why they don't do this more often. We'll see how well it all actually fits and holds together once we get it together, but all you got is just a simple mold line across the top of that, which will sand right off. And I forgot this is a very tiny piece and I didn't want to lose it, so I left some of the nub on there. Let me clean this up real quick. do for now. Alrighty, let's snap this little fella together. The muzzle here. Kind of turn this way so you can kind of see what I'm doing since these parts are so small. So that's upside down. And I think it'll be easier if I put his eyepiece in here first, then try and put the sticker on. Give me a little something more to hold on to here. Maybe. Well, that's cool. You can see right there. I don't know if y'all can. I forgot that thing's not set to autofocus. I gotta make sure I'm at the right distance. You'll probably be able to see it better when everything's together here in a moment. The Vulcans are molded into the yellow piece here for the eyes, so they'll be poking through in a separate color, so that's nice. They won't be all white or anything. Let's slap these peepers on here. Now if I can pick up the paper. Come here. Come here. There we go. That's not a nudge you around. Q-tip, please. Just one. That is crooked as hell. He's looking cross-eyed. Hold on, sir. That's not gonna. There we go. Poor thing was looking as cross-eyed as my son. It, earlier yesterday, I was playing with my kid, and we're kind of sitting there on my lap on the couch, and we're goofing off or whatever. And he's getting to where he's smiling and making a lot of different faces. So I was like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna get my camera out, see her play with them, and kind of get for his mom, some of the shots of him being goofy." But as soon as I pull out my phone and turn on the camera or whatever, he just wants to watch the phone. So I turn on selfie camera so he can see himself. Half the time he's sitting there cross-eyed trying to look at himself. He's still trying to figure out focus a little bit. Those look like they're on there good and straight. Yeah, can't complain about that. I need that later. And simply just slide the helmet on top here. Right on up in there. And they're so small, but you see the little Vulcans back up in there. I'll show you on the up camera here in a moment when I swap back over. So this actually has a pretty decent peg on it. Because a lot of these these little tiny diamond crest parts on the top of the V-fin always want to fall off on me. This one has a pretty decent peg that it should just hold in there quite nicely. Just make sure I get in there upright. Oh, we'll get lined up. There we go. Oh yeah, that little crest in there, that's not going to fall out on you. Yeah, you're going to have to purposely pull that off to lose it. That's nice. Just slide right on in. Perfect. Too bad. Swap over to the other camera here. Focus. Yeah, there, you can actually see the Vulcans up there. That yellow piece that's part of the whole eye section that slides off in there. But yeah, no seam line around this thing. Of course, I got the little flags. I'll take those off later. Oh, and in the back where the back camera is, that's a part of the red piece up in here. So that's already there. No sticker needed for that. And of course, the front there. Only thing is that it's the same sort of matte, sort of flat color plastic as the chin here and the rest of the reds. Wouldn't mind that being a little more reflective a bit. Oh, helps if I keep that where you can see it. Oh, no. Oh, you got a chrome marker set. Oh, I need to see about a chrome marker set. I got a little bit of chrome paint. Let me see. I picked up some enamel while I was downstate seeing, taking care of some family business. I picked up some of this, some silver chrome. This is enamel paint, so I'm using this for some panel liner, which I want to use this on the. I thought about this for my Moon Gundam. For his crescent moons, the red part, I want to panel line it in the silver sort of color. I think it'd make that stand out a lot nicer when I get around to painting him. So, but I'll find other uses for this as well. But I thought I'd try this for him. I thought that worked pretty well. But it's a chrome silver. Oh, the mark. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you're waiting on. I want to see check those out. All right, so we got the head and the chest next. I'm assuming the arm should be next. Which most of this is all bilateral, so it's all pretty much the same side by side, so it's not a big deal. Oh, and there is something interesting about the shoulder armor when we get to it. I'll show you that as well. How it all goes on there. Dude. Don't need the stickers no more. I need these pieces. And that's all those. Where shall we begin? That, and be another set of those. Oh, there it is. And there, that's better. Is that a nub I missed? I did miss a nub. Now that's just annoying. Probably should have got my file out for this. Be a lot cleaner looking in the end. I can fix that later though. One and now two. Yeah, the tips I've noticed because I got some Gundam markers when I first started, and I haven't really used them at all. But they're all kind of this one style of tip, and having something a little more fine than broad or something like that, that would help out a lot on things like that. Which of course I was new and didn't think about stuff like that. This and this funny looking piece. How's this go? Oh, I see. Oh, that's simple. Eggs in. See that? Will they hide the seam line on this part here? Well, that's nice down there on the little kind of lock section down there. The gray from the elbow joint shows through in there, so it's not just that solid white down in there. So that looks pretty good. And it's not just a tiny little piece; it's part of the forearm armor there. And I think I put that on there backwards. Yeah, no, that's how it's supposed to go. Much better. Where's the other half? I could think these are all. No, that'll be that side. I need yeah, that one. Oh, that's nice. So the panel line here is kind of the seam line's hitting this panel line, then the rest of it's actually got some of the gray poking out through here in the forearm. To kind of have that matched up a little bit better when it comes time, might still put a little drop of glue in there to kind of hold that together better right there. Or in there so you can see a little gap, at least I can from my view. I don't know if y'all can on the camera. But still yet, that's nice. Kind of like some of the Master Grays do. You always get that little bit of the inner frame sort of poking out. I'm gonna get the other one snapped together here. Do 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 do. And get on there. Cooperate. There we are. And so far, the only seam lines I've seen that are might want to clean up are on the backpack because it's just two pieces sandwiched together. That's not bad at all so far. Of course, you got mold lines, but I don't really consider mold lines an issue. They're not much to clean up. Does go on a certain way? Yes, it do. Like that. Now, painting these parts, you're probably gonna have to mask, or actually, I'll paint the elbow joint first. Then, well, actually, since everything's hidden pretty well, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Sorry, I'm talking to myself, thinking out loud. Next are these funny pieces here. No, not that. That is that one. Okay. Directional do you go? No, that's not right. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Oh, that's for the wrist, I think. Oh, okay. The other one snap together here. Where's that? There it is. I'm curious to see how well all the new points of articulation actually work together. Yeah. Now it kind of divides up in the right arm, left arm, but it's mainly just depending on which way you turn certain pieces for the right or left arm, looks like. And even here on the wrist, you got the nice little bit of gray coming through. And that one's actually kind of recessed down in there, it looks like. So it kind of gives you that nice field of depth and everything on there. That's pretty neat. I like that. Nice little detail to add on there. Did I put that on there? No, I put that on there wrong, didn't I? Yeah, just gotta pop it up and turn it a little bit. Actually, I guess it don't matter because it's on a ball socket in there. Slide it out and yeah, you can slide it out and spin it around to wherever you might want it. That's nifty. And of course, your hands here. Oh, that's a trigger. Yeah, that's it. Comes with a trigger hand. Where's the other half of it? I think that's it. Always nice to have some extra hands. There's a trigger hand. Of course, you have your closed fist, which I think all the backs for these should be the same. I think. Oh, nope, they have a little L-shaped part where they slide in, so each hand has its own back. There we go. Those are nicely detailed, though. Even if you're just going to kind of straight build, just a little bit of panel lining wash in there on those joints, and those hands will look really nice. Besides that nub I cleaned up horribly. Those have some pretty nice, all the details on this are nice and deep. Nothing seems to be real shallow so far. So you don't have to worry about sanding, cleaning up, and losing a lot of your detail. Molotov, different tips on there. Okay. Is that the Chrome marker set? Is that from them that you sent me a DM of? Molotov? Molotov, or how it's pronounced? Because if not, oh, it is? Okay, cool. Because if not, I was going to write down that name real quick before I forgot, at the end of the stream. But if you sent me, if that's the brand you sent me on the DM, then that's cool. Okay. And this also does come with a nice expressive hand. You get one for the left hand, actually. But that's actually a pretty nice expressive hand. Focus. There we go. It's always weird when you're trying to look at this, what y'all are seeing, and everything's kind of mirrored a bit. That actually is a pretty cool looking dynamic hand there. Some nice detail to it. And what's that? Oh, I know what that is. Kind of. I'm just gonna pop some of the right and left hands. Let's put the closed fist in for now. So you snap these in. And by the looks of this, you need to put these arms together a certain way. So we'll go ahead and do that after we get these together. That that's on there. Everything snaps in here nice and tight. Oh, a refill variant. That's definitely nice. Oh, so I wonder if you could like just buy the pens and put your own type of paints in there if you thinned them down. I wonder if they work like that. That'd be awesome. So you just kind of just keep your pens there ready instead of having to do the whole brush deal and everything. Just pop off the cap and go to town. I definitely have to look them up after we get done here today. Ooh, do I got these facing the right direction? They need to be facing that way when it goes to attaching everything. Okay. I don't want to screw nothing up and mess up a joint. That one doesn't want to seem to... Oh, there it goes. Got to pay attention and get it nice and straight. But all these parts seem to fit nice and snug. Something you have to worry about when you sitting there moving the forearm around here, the top rotation. A lot of times they slowly work their way off. I doubt you have to worry about that at all with this guy. Now here's where it gets a little different on this. So putting the arms in, slide them up underneath like that. Then it shows this piece. Here for this, how these shoulder armor go on, I'm going to swap over here. And you see it's kind of slide up under the ball joint there on that part. It shows take this little piece, a little hooked in there, and that slides down over that, sandwiches in there. Okay. See how well that holds. Oh, see, it's even got the gray like for underneath the armor sticking out on that too. That's nice. And really, that seems very secure. I like that design. Might need to tighten that up a little bit though. So I think with some weight, that seems a little loose there. Maybe holding the shield or something up. Yeah, well, the other one holds up. But of course, it'll be easy to tighten that up to some super glue around that ball joint there. Slide this one, oh no, backwards. Like that. And actually, what's kind of nice about this, it has the panel lines and everything, but they're real simple and minimalistic. So you can add a bit more on here if you wanted to. Like up here on the bicep and some here on the forearm on this nice part right through here. Maybe on the inside as well. But this is what I found interesting when I was cutting this out. Here are your armor pieces. And they're all one solid piece. Now I was wondering how well they hold on because it looks like they just snap down on in there. So we'll see how that does, but these are real simple, plain. They just have a few little detailed notches here. I didn't think to try and make sure my fingernails are clean before this. Sorry if my fingernails are a little nasty. But you could do some simple, just a nice line or two here. Would add a lot of detail to these shoulder armor pieces. Let's see how well they hold on. They just kind of slide up in there on that little ring part, if you can see right there by the joint. And they hold pretty snug as well. Only issue I'm finding so far is maybe some weight on these arms holding things up. They're both kind of a little loose feeling, but like I said, it won't take much to fix those. Yeah, they slide on easy enough. You can slide them right off, but they got enough grip to them that they really don't seem like they'll go anywhere. You got a great arm up on that sucker. This is probably I may not paint this one for a while, or if I do, I'm probably gonna buy me another one. The rate this is going, this might just be one of my kits I leave sitting on my desk that I kind of sit there and play with when I'm watching YouTube or something. So got the chest, arms, and shoulders, and a couple extra hands. Let's set those to the side for now. Next, it should be the crotch. All right, yeah, we'll get the waist and everything going here. I don't know how well it fits together, but the hip joints on this are different as well. So those will be interesting to check out when we get this and the legs all snapped together. Is that all? That's all of them. Okay. Of course, we'll start because here these will just. Oh, is that the right piece? No, that's. Yeah, that's the right piece. That's got it backwards. There we go. You can see where these just kind of have that flat nub there, and then there's the simple peg there. So these have a kind of basically like the rocking motion, it looks like, but it's gonna have one mean swinging, rocking hip joint there. That'll be interesting to check out once we get it all put together here. This got one for each, so they work independently too, so that'll be nice. The undercarriage here. Does it snap in that? That don't seem right. Or am I just... Oh, I see. That fits in the front of that rounded peg in there and squeezes down like that. Okay. I was expecting it to kind of wrap all the way to the back there, but that stays open. I'm assuming that's where you can attach your action base or whatever, I'm assuming. The next is this, so that will snap in there. Oh, that's nice. So the back armor apparently moves as well, but it sandwiches. It looks like the parts are going to sandwich it in there. They're not just snapping, where you can pop it off pretty easy. Hook that up in there, and then you snap this on over it. Get that lined up. See, that is very nice, because a lot of those you just have that little part snaps in there and you take it up a little too far and it pops and shoots off across the table on you. That is nice. Oh, and it's not even like a typical... Here's swap. I don't know if that's just the screen I'm using right now or if the color is that bad on that webcam that I'm using, but let's swap over to the good one. And it's not like your basic, just sort of flat look. It's got a nice bit of curvature to it. Here, what's next on the list? Side skirts. Looks like these sandwich on as well. Quite possibly. So snap them on and bring them down. Not really snapping there, it's kind of resting there, and yeah, but so far the way this thing is being designed, you shouldn't really have to worry about losing any parts off of this when you're tinkering and playing with it, just moving it around. Yep. Even if you pull straight out, that part there that sandwiches slides on, it doesn't even. The way it's designed won't even slide off to the side and pop out. So very nice. And another lovely thing about this kit, you don't have to worry about a sticker for the little V fin deal in the crotch. It's all a separate piece. If you just don't drop it and lose it, that's it. That is. That just slides in there simple, and then just stick it in the front of the crotch here. And I bet that wasn't that hard to mold or anything like that, instead of always having that stupid sticker, foil sticker to put on there. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these off while I'm at it. Add up a little bit. And cleanup on this thing is so easy with this plastic. I will love it if they don't use the same color, but just the same plastic on all their molds. That would be amazing. So I think this is the quickest cleanup I was able to do on a kit in a while. Oh, that's cool. So notifications and everything do come through. That's nice to know. I'm still kind of new to Facebook and everything, and I don't get notifications for my own videos or streams, so it doesn't quite work that way. It's nice to know that it actually works. And thank you for having the notification bell clicked. I appreciate that. Oh, my phone's vibrating. Oh, an alarm for 4:45. I don't know what that's for. Must have done something this week. And if you look at the armor skirting, it has all kind of has a bit of a roundedness to it, bit of an oval circle to it with the front and the back skirts there. Not too much movement out of these. Oh, thanks again, Goku Toro. One of these days I'll get your name straight, I swear. Hell, half the time I don't even call my own kid by his name. Alright, so now we go move on to the legs, and then we'll see about getting all that snapped together. Now the feet are also interesting on this, it looked like. So I do have the right and left legs separated here, so we'll just go and do them one at a time. This should be my right leg here. But the feet are a bit different. No slide in there. It's only, simple 3 pieces here. Turn it the right way. And it looks like it'll slot in there, so you got some bit of different sort of movement on this foot here, so that'll be interesting to see how that works out. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to find out here right now. Go ahead and finish the ankle, why don't I? Before I start asking weird questions about how things will work. Just do not cut off this nub. Assuming I didn't cut it off, that looks like it's still there. Oh well. That just snaps down into the foot. Right peg. Yeah. An awful long peg going into that foot. Huh, but it all fit. So that gives you a bit of side to side motion there. Pretty stout joint there. And of course, foot up and foot down. Huh. Let's get the ankle armor on here. And this is one thing I've always hated about this type of ankle armor. How these fit together. Which is this easy fix because you can actually glue these on most of them. At least the ones I've done so far, I've been able to glue these together. Then they have enough flex that you can put them together, but apparently that's not going to work on this kit, huh? Guess you could do it if you kind of cut down the nubs here. Here, let me swap cameras here. And you see where usually I could kind of glue those and then flex that enough to snap it on, but those are quite long now. Maybe shave that off some and might be able to do that. But well, actually those fit together pretty well. May not be anything to worry about in the long run. In typical Rx-78 fashion, those mount to the ankle, give you that up and down motion there. How would they move to the side with this? Hinders it a bit. Maybe when you, oh, that's just the foot itself. Once you have the foot out, that'll definitely give you some interesting sort of poses with that and to the side and everything. They actually look Kind of neat, maybe some poses. Let me straighten that back up and get the rest of this leg put together. And that's the footsies, foot something. I need to stop making weird. There's that one goes on the side. Oh, that's backwards. Sandwich those together. This goes on. No, that's the front. That's the one I want. That's the back. What's this little hinge piece for? Oh, that's the upper hip part, I guess? That'll be interesting. Hmm. That's all that goes in there. Go ahead and snap this on. Again, this is hiding the panel line nicely and it's the seam line real nicely in the panel line there. Which it helps if you get your part straight before you try to squish them together. There we go. I might actually take my scriber and kind of make that a wee bit wider and deeper, make it look a little better. Maybe on both sides, but yeah, they hide that pretty well there. Of course, the little lock bolt nut things, whatever you might want to call them. Not wanting to fit on there. There we go. Just gotta make sure those fit real close together in there. You might kind of have to flex a little bit to get it in there. Once you got it snapped on there, it doesn't bother to get in the way, it looks like. See how the other one does. And he's got to, there we go. Get it on there. On there pretty nice. The weird chin piece. I don't, oh, it's because I'm putting it on the wrong side. That's why I don't look right. Here. Alright, so yeah, if you wanted to paint these calves like a lighter gray or something like that to contrast the white, it's just two separate pieces, and the seam line, of course, is hidden nicely right around back through here. And of course, it looks like this right here will be covered up, so don't have to worry about what it looks like or anything. So the front. Back halves. Yeah, so that's nice part separation. So if you want to paint things up, because these both front and back are separate, that's both separate pieces. No worries about the seam line showing. The painting this should be fairly straightforward, really. Then of course the kneecap, it slides right on there. A little bit of more of the armor showing up through there in the knee. So far it's nice. They got nice detail and panel line on this so far, but it's not over the top. You can add a little bit if you want, or not really worry about it at all. It's got plenty there for you to enjoy. This is just the hip joint here. And this isn't a polycap either. It's still just all ABS plastic, so it's been pretty, yeah, pretty tight. Pop in like so. Oh, that's awfully snug. That worries me sometimes. Oh, but there she goes. Snap the foot on. Alright, that's not what I snapped up in there. Always afraid to over force something. That's not wanting to go at all, actually. They put that together right. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have got it wrong. There it goes. Gotta kind of go side to side to kind of worm it in through there. But it's definitely on there, not going anywhere. One leg down, one leg to go. I don't think the weapon should take very long either. Alright. Would like to say I should be able to do this now without instructions, but I built one leg, but never seems to be the case for me. Top of the foot. This piece, no, that's the hip. The hip, that's the one I want. That in there. Come on. God, these parts are snugger than I'm a little comfortable with sometimes. But they go. Oh, come back here. Their footy down. That should be facing back. Get that part first. They'll all hold together easier that way. And this thing, the way everything covers up, that'd be easy enough to paint and put everything together. This thing is just built to make painting easy. Actually, so far, for when it comes to somebody's first time painting and airbrushing or hand painting, this thing is probably the easiest for not having to worry about masking or worry about trying to get rid of seam lines. You can just worry about actually just painting the kit itself. So no, this is the left leg. Let's make sure I got this right. I'm supposed to flex in that way. So I want that to go that directional. A little bit. Yeah, let's do these little button-ish parts here. Yeah, definitely for how this thing's part separated and all the seam lines are hidden. In the review, that's going to be one of the main things I point out, especially for first-time painters. Not having to worry about all that modding, they just worry about painting this and getting it how they want it to look. Without having to worry about glue and extra sanding and everything. That is very nice. That is yeah, that's the front. Neon there. Still love how you just have nice points where the so-called inner frame, for a high grade pokes through, but it doesn't look, just like crap. It all has some nice detail to it and nice movement to it. I mean, separating knee armor. I might actually have to get another one of these just for the hell of it. Have a play one and one to paint up nice and purty. There we go. Yep, that. I get this done right here. Yeah, it's the left leg. Oh, God, these fit so snug, it worries me. Now I get that one in that time. All right, let's snap his whole body together here and get him all fixed up. One leg. Those are in there nice and snug. Definitely got some different articulation to it. Here in these hips, that'll be interesting to check out. Nap on his head here. All in all, not too bad looking so far. Aesthetically, I mean, the torso and everything is a lot thinner. It doesn't look bad, but the hips do seem a little wide for it. I don't know, what do y'all think? Especially from the side here, it's kind of move his arm back. That narrow torso there, just especially from the side, there's too much gap in between here and the back skirting and the body there. Looks seedy. That phrase can be taken many different ways, but I do know what you mean. But I mean, all in all, it doesn't look bad in its proportions or anything. Just that hip a little bit. Maybe they kind of slimmed it in a little bit more. Maybe like these thigh skirt. Maybe these parts kind of angled them a little bit more. And I might try to do that myself. That way it kind of flows better, kind of pulls up into the torso as well. That's what I was thinking. Just simple things like maybe kind of sand these off and maybe shape them a little bit better, maybe with putty, but bring them in a little more flush with the actual flap here and have it angled up in the same degree as the midsection, which would probably help a lot, at least from the front view. The back might take a bit more, maybe not, maybe, well, actually, if I wanted to get, would you spread your legs for me? That sounds awkward now. Anyways, actually, if I wanted to get rid of, I would have to get rid of the 3mm point there for the action base. But if I didn't want to do that, or maybe modify it a different way for an action base, would give you enough play to bring that back skirt in a little bit closer towards the back and take care of that. Or some claw plate on the back of the body here and just bring it out a little bit further. Might be an idea. Something to tinker with a little bit. Actually, I bet the claw plate idea is what I try first because it'd be a lot simpler. And then that way you don't have to worry about doing double modification for the waist, trying to bring the back in. And then if you want to modify it to keep it where you need an action base for it. Front skirt, a little far out there too, but it's really not near as bad as the back is. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, the plan is always great. Doesn't mean it always works that way. They that way for me. That's one thing that's nice about like these live builds doing with y'all, because I come across some ideas, and then I know especially when I was doing my kit bash, Faye gave me a lot of different ideas because I was having an issue trying to figure out how to get the feet from the Leo to work on the Jim's legs, and he gave me some good ideas on that, which helped me get that situated. That's one thing I like about these live streams. They help me run some ideas across y'all, and y'all help me give me some ideas. But so far, arm up pretty nicely. Rotate that around and do his gun in the air pose. Head looks up pretty good too. That's nice. Just need to tighten that joint up on that arm because that is... We'll see how bad it is when we put the shield on it because that'll probably be the heaviest thing it's going to be carrying. Now for this hip joint, that'll rock down. Oh, that's stiff and doesn't... There we go. From the side, that definitely gives it kind of a bit of a strange look there. Bring that up a little closer, maybe y'all can get a better look how that part right there you can see in there. That oval shaped part in there swings down and this pivots off of it. Swing. I do that a little bit too. So, oh, it's got a little extra weird sort of hip there that kind of works its way out the top of the upper thigh here. I have to do some tinkering with this guy to kind of see what poses you can get him into. Kind of show that off a bit in the review. But that hip is definitely pretty stiff. I don't know if it might kind of work out a little bit, or it doesn't seem to actually have to worry about messing, stressing out your plastic. At least that's what I'm trying to think of. His lower shins here seem a bit thin, but they're right on the cusp, so they can kind of go either way on the build of him. But if you want to beef those up, that should be pretty simple. Just a thin plow plate on there. Of course, just sand it down and shape it just right. And you could beef those up pretty easy, so that's not a big issue. All in all, I do like the design. It's kind of a streamlined, bit industrial sort of look. Kind of like the G40, but not as industrial-ish, modern industrial look as it has. All right, let's get his weapons fixed up here. Let's get them built. We'll stand him there for the moment. He's a sturdy fella, though. Oh, yeah, I'll probably buy two of those guys. All right. And for the weapons here, it's pretty straightforward. He's got a shield, which actually looks pretty cool from what I see in the pictures and everything. It's got a lot of nice detail to it. And then, of course, beam sabers. Get two of the typicals with those. Typical round pegs attached to that. But the shield is the big difference on this kit. The rifle is, for the most part, pretty basic. Fit your few moving parts on here, and just one thing I love also notice about this, you can actually put this in and take it out later because there's a hole in the back. I don't have to worry about drilling it out because I built my Origin, Master Grade Origin. I don't have to do a little drilling to get the sight piece out so I could paint it on his rifle. Which won't be too bad. Paint it, then I can stick it in and tape it and putty up the back of that and cover that hole up, or could leave it. It's not like it really hurt anything. And the rifle's simple and straightforward. Just all sandwich these pieces together. Got the movable foregrip sight. And you slide on the. I always forget this. These dumb things on the ends of the rifles have that shaped peg to that one flat side. And I always forget and screw them up, but I will not do that today. And the peg to fit in the back skirt of it, if we're to stow it away, is fixed. It's sticking out there so it doesn't fold in or anything, which is a bit of an annoyance. I don't think it would have taken, with the extra gimmicks, they put in the joints of this kit, to make that where that could fold in and out pretty simple. I mean, the handle moves and the sight moves, but par usual of the course, you got the seam line running down the whole of the beam rifle here to get rid of, but that shouldn't take much. Actually, up here on the top, it looks more like it's a panel line for it. Might just want to see about removing this here on the foregrip. Yeah, the rest of it's all pretty well hidden, actually. Just this right here and foregrip there. Straightforward on that. Now for the shield. This is the part that I've been interested in. That slots in there easy enough. Next question is, will I be able to get it out easy enough to paint when I want to without snapping that damn thing? How I already got squished in there. Oh well. So which part goes on first? Do I need to do the gray backing or the white part of the shield? Grab these pieces here. Those I don't need right now. Like, ooh, oh, put it upside down. And I think that's how she goes. Oh, got that upside down again. There we go. Straightforward. This kind of sandwiches that white paneling around the edge there in between the gray and the kind of, I'm not sure what to call this color. It's kind of a real light burgundy, maybe? Alright, so that for snap onto the forearm, I believe. And then, of course, you have your front. Oh, wrong part slid in there. Grip for the shield. That doesn't swing independently or nothing. You just kind of pop it out, move it where you need it, forward or back. It's a simple enough design, and it fits in there snug enough it's not going to fall out on you if you're not having it in the hand. One thing that is nice is the gray that comes through. They look like giant bolts in there. You got some more of the gray coming through here for some detail, some inner paneling coming through the armor there. Even the little white centerpiece here. Oh, and the red. All the little parts poking through. I don't know if you can see them there, but they all look like little bolts coming through to hold everything together. That's pretty nice detail added there. I like that. And I like how everything's kind of layered differently, so it gives that nice depth to all the parts and the layers of the shield here. And enough detail to it that you can panel line all that and be happy without having to add extra. Not bad all in all. Actually, oh, well, that's actually the whole kit there. I see how everything fits on them a little bit here. Some of the stuff out of the way. Sorry, I'm over here banging things around. So this, maybe I should have kept the instructions to see how this is supposed to fit on the arm. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't think that through, did I? All right, let me grab that again. If you're getting one of the Grandpa Gundams, I've only built a couple. The high res or not high res, the Revive high grade. That was the first one I built. I got it up here, and it's a pretty solid, straightforward kit. See, I like him. This is the first Grandpa I built. Actually, kind of here for comparison. I've painted this one, but all in all, see the lower calves are thinner. How's the skirting look here? Yeah, I think maybe if you just kind of thicken up that waist a little bit instead of trying to mod the whole waist part would be better because it's thicker on this one, of course. And to the side, I don't need to chip the paint on that fella. Oh yeah, it's in the instructions to see how to put the stupid shield on here. I've ever had to look at instructions to figure out how to put the shield on the arm. Oh, I see how it goes. Okay. That's the reason these parts right here in the wrist earlier are recessed in there. That's where the shield apparently looks like it snaps on. I think. Am I wrong? What does it look like? Or do I pull the arm out a little bit? And then, that's how it goes. Okay. So you gotta shimmy the little extra bit of the forearm out. And then the shield snaps off up on there. And seems to hold pretty securely. Not going anywhere. And the arm holds it up just fine. I was worried it might have a little bit of issue, but Yeah, see, you can definitely tell it's all kind of a stylized sort of deal because that's him with a shield, and it's pretty small and narrow compared to the Revive's shield. But it does have that little extra detail and everything added to it because the Revive shield's pretty straightforward and basic. Wish I had painted the inside of that the same as the frame, but I didn't think about it. It was one of my early kits I painted. And the rifle, simple enough. Oh, I bet I have to take the back of the hand off to get the rifle in there. Typical high grade stuff. Come off. Well, that definitely is not going to get lost. Oh, I'm an idiot. It comes with a stinking trigger finger hand for the rifle. That might be why I'm having issues here. Of course, it fits pretty well together. And once that, like so, there we go. Snap that back in there. Say all the joints are nice and sturdy on this guy, that's for sure. And that little chest gimmick there where it pivots forward, kind of like the gem, it does some, but not as much as the gem does. I think that's at its limit right there. Let's get this camera around here and maybe give y'all a bit of a better view of these guys side by side here. Okay. I get a view of them here for some comparison. Nope, wrong way. Hopefully that works. I don't know how the lighting's gonna be since I didn't set it for that. Oh, I'm cutting off one of the guy's heads. Well, that's easy to fix. We shall. Which video capture device do I want to get rid of? Nope, not that. What am I? There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Oh no, not too bad on the design. Chest is a bit thicker out towards the front. Much more kind of angular to everything. This is a bit more kind of a rounded, smoother design to it, not quite as edgy. Yeah, the Revive that I can't remember when I built that one, but for a simple kit, I love this thing. My nephew was here. It's been a couple of weeks now, but he built one of my kits I had sitting around. I had a I can't remember which one it was called, but he built it. He picked that out of my backlog over there in the corner, and he enjoyed it. So I was like, I made sure he left with some nippers, I got him some sanding sticks and things like that. And when I was meeting his dad halfway, because they live about 9 hours downstate, so he met me about halfway, and I had him meet me at Hobby Lobby since now they're actually selling a handful of kits. I think they're starting off small to see how many they can actually sell. But so I bought him two more kits to take home with him. That way he has something to get himself started when he got home. So he picked up this one and then the Goof Custom High Grade is the two that he picked up at Hobby Lobby when I dropped him off. So he's already built this when he sent me pictures of it. He done a pretty good job on it. But yeah, I do love that Revive. But all in all, this thing's pretty well built. I mean, it mainly comes down to whether you like the aesthetics of this guy or not. Like I said, there's some points about it that I don't care too much for. And then there are parts about it that I actually do like. A bit more angular, some more detail to it. I love the color they used on it. How some of the armor pokes out here and there. Nicely hid panel or seam lines. Backpack, like I said, is a bit streamlined. It's kind of small looking-ish. But it's not really too terribly smaller. It's just it's more the industrial angled line to it. It's not as boxy as the like on the Revive. Yeah, I'm definitely have to play this guy a little bit more and get used to some of these new joints in here and see what kind of weird poses I can get him into for the review. But all in all, I kind of want y'all's opinion on this guy. Have either of y'all thought about ordering this one or not, or turn down the lighting there a little bit on that? Maybe get it not so washed out. That cheap webcam. Well, actually, not a cheap webcam. The sad thing is, like I said, this is some aesthetic parts, and he's no polycaps. I mean, he's sturdy as hell. The arms that only loose joints that it has is the arms here, and even doing this, they're not really. Pistol went down, but the shield's not even dragging the arm down or nothing. That's pretty impressive. Getting used to these feet. Yeah, that feet, they kind of do a little strange. I don't know how much people are going to like that. I bet it can help with get some pretty neat poses. We'll have to see. Well, Faye, are you glad I didn't keep you too terribly late tonight? Those joints are stiff. Going to take you a minute to kind of work them to get them where you want them to get them flat-footed there. That's better. Well, guys, I figured, like I said, this would be a pretty quick stream. What has it been? About an hour and 40 minutes. But guys, hopefully within the next 3-4 days, I'll have the review of this out and y'all can check it out. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate it. But I think I can smell my wife cooking some dinner, and it's making me very hungry. So I'm going to go eat before my child wakes up or starts screaming for me to feed him. I'm going to try and feed myself first. But guys, y'all take it easy, all right? Thanks for coming out again. I appreciate it.